YouTube? Topaz Jake's back for another daily review, and this one is to that B.o.B story to tell, and I'm giving this one the yellow light because it's really not that amazing of a song, man, and it's not really that unique either, but yet ultimately it's not a terrible song either. Still one I would say people should go ahead and peep out. So what this song is B.o.B back on his no genre tip, man, where he's ultimately taking a bunch of different genres and mashing them together to try to create some customized songs. But this one overtly comes off as hip-hop and reggae, and throughout history, that's been a pretty good collaboration. I mean, there's a reason why hip-hop has such high regards for acts like Bob Marley and such, man, because the music was phenomenal, and it crosses over to hip-hop really well. But sadly, in this case, it really doesn't pan out that well. So ultimately, the story that B.o.B is trying to tell us here is the story of his life, ultimately looking at his friends on how none of them really held him down as things got rough on the come up, or even to this day right now. And that's definitely some real talk, because this is what you got to understand. For the most part, your friends and all these people around you, dude, they're only there so they can benefit off of you for the time being, man, while they're trying to do themselves. In the end, for the most part, because some people do have true friends. I mean, you are lucky to have one true friend in your entire life. But for the most part, man, these people are really not in your best interest. They will work with you, man, for when it's convenient for them, man, but in the end, when it's not convenient, or when they want to be bigger than you, you see the reality of the situation. But in the second verse, he's ultimately talking about his grind, on how he got an endless desire to find his own success, to continue to build up, no matter where he's at in the game and all that, man. And that is another thing we definitely need to touch on, because that's how you need to be. Like, you got to understand, the world is not going to give you what you want to do. The only thing you can ultimately control in this life, man, is your own desires, your own actions, how focused you are on getting such things. And if you go hard consistently, man, and continue to try to build up, and you continue to build up plans and think about things differently and adjust, man, then eventually things will break for you. But you got to go hard every day, like today is your last day possible to go ahead and get that. Now, even though I like what he's talking about, man, there's a lack of punchlines here. That production wasn't that quality, just overall wasn't that great of a song. But a quick recap, man, the positives that I take from this is I definitely like what he's talking about here, the concept of grinding all the time, man, to build yourself up and understanding how people going to react. That is interesting things that everybody must know. But yet the negatives is, it's just not that good of a song here. But this concludes today's review, man, and now we're going to jump into a brief instrumental from underground producer Curtis Lamons before we jump into some of your questions. Can I make a compilation video of all of the joints that I've given the green light so far, like to the point that he wants to kind of keep track of all the good stuff that I say is good? And I will do you one better, man, because I have a playlist where I put all of the dope songs for each year. I've been doing this since 2005 and such, man, but I have a playlist where I link to all of the top songs that I gave favorable reviews to, and I'm gonna put that in the link in the description below for anybody who wants to peep it. So far, I think I got like 6 or 7 songs in there right now. It's been a pretty slow year so far. And Fernando says he would love to see me do like a collaboration review with some of the top reviewers and such that's out there, dude. And you know, I've never turned away from actually wanting to do such a thing. It's just a lot of these people, when they reach a certain level, they make it so difficult for you to reach out to them. Like, I'm like one of the few people out there online that if you leave me a message, I'm gonna give you a response back eventually. See, the key is when reaching out to other people, you have to be big enough to the point that they already know who you are and they got to reach out to you, because they make it difficult for anybody to reach them. And to keep it 100 with you, man, I'm just not on that level yet, but I am pushing to get there. I hope you enjoyed the show. You can follow me at Twitter up there, and you can go to downloadpaz.com, that's down there, to read today's article.